Well, good afternoon, and we are in Studio B. Joe Greene here on WNCW. Glad to be here and glad to welcome Ms. Dawn Landis to the studio. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
Been a little bit since you were here in the echo chamber, and no, I'm just kidding. Been a little bit. Live Studio B sessions on WNCW made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Let's go ahead and start off with a song. What do you say?
Let's do it. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. Fire and flame, difficult to handle, easy to blame. Now I'm struck down with a heart so black. Give me all your love and you take it back. What you gonna do to prove it to me now? Now, for crying out loud. Worry me, living in a shadow, it's so hard to see. There's a light, taking it for granted, but it still shines. Now I'm struck down with a heart so black. Give me all your love and you take it back. What you gonna do to prove it to me now? Now, for crying out loud, out loud, for crying out loud, out loud. The curtain falls and now it's true. Turn my cheek and back on you. Stage is bare, we've lost the crowd. Take a bow for crying out loud. Out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud. Woo! Now I'm struck down with a heart so black. Give me all your love, better take it back. What you gonna do to prove it to me now? Now, for crying out loud, out loud, for crying out loud, out loud, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Dawn Landis here in Studio B on WNCW. And name of that song?
Crying out loud.
I kind of guessed, but, I didn't want to look stupid. So, and which album we find that on?
That one is a throwback, but I've been playing it live with the band. I've got a band tonight, and we play it so differently than it was on the album. But I did a little EP with my friend Piers Ficini. He's a French guy living in... No, I'm sorry. He's a British guy living in France with an Italian name. A very interesting combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made an EP a few years ago. It's on that. It's called Desert Songs.
Great tune.
Thanks.
Great tune. And you have a show tonight.
I do.
At New Belgium in Asheville, New Belgium Brewing,
Yep.
About 5:30. So
5:30.
you got to rush out of here when we get finished.
I know.
Go
Just
sound
zing,
check.
zing. Yeah.
Full band tonight?
Full band tonight, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, y'all got a sound check.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got your family with you today?
I do.
I saw your beautiful kids out in the hall.
Aw, thank you.
You were here, you and I were talking, you were here in 2018.
Yep. And my daughter was just very, very small then.
Toddly.
I remember toddling and being pushed around while I was in here.
Mm-hmm.
And now she got to bring in she was my roadie. She brought in my bag for me today. So
Wow. Well, it's lovely. Great to have you back,
thank
too.
you.
Your latest album is called Row, and you released that in 2020. Did you release it an early part, or was it released like during all the unpleasantness?
Yeah, well, the original goal was to release it when we had a production because it's a musical.
Right.
So the album that I released is sort of a concept album based on songs from the musical. And I've been working on the musical for about 8 years. And it's a true story of Tori Murden McClure, who was the first woman and the first American to ever row solo across the Atlantic Ocean in 1999. And I was actually living in Louisville then, in Kentucky, and that's where she's from. And
Nice.
10 years later, someone passed me her memoir, and then some Broadway guy asked me if I wanted to write a musical. And then 8 years later, voila, we have a musical.
There you go.
But the whole plan was to release it when we had the production, but then COVID happened. The album was done, but the production got postponed until last summer. So,
What did it feel like for somebody to ask you, do you want to write a musical?
I mean, it didn't seem that daunting at the time because I had no idea how long it would take. You know, in singer-songwriter terms, you know, you write a couple songs, it takes you a few years, you put out an album, you tour the album, and you repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. But writing a musical is a completely different beast. You're just constantly revising and editing, and it's so collaborative. Like, really, I learned a lot. I learned, I think, how to be a better collaborator by working on this project. I don't know, you'll have to ask my collaborators.
I'm sure they'd agree.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would agree. You have 5 full albums to your credit and 6 EPs. That's quite a library
Yeah.
for someone as young as you are.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind.
Now, full band tonight. I was looking at who you had on the last album, and I see names like Ben Soley. And are some of these folks with you on the road now?
Yeah, no. Well, the Row album was interesting because it is really based on the story, and in the story there are 10 characters. And on the album, I sing the part of Tori, who's the main character, and then all the other people are people from her past, like her brother, her first crush, like a man she meets who becomes her husband. And so I got all Louisville artists to participate because it's a very Louisville story. And so I reached out to Will Oldham and Ben Soley and Rachel Grimes and Carly Johnston, some of my favorite voices from Kentucky. So yeah.
Kentucky, there's no arguing it's a music-rich.
It is. Well, so is North Carolina. I know. I'm learning as a new North Carolinian. So
we kind of share that with Kentucky in a lot of ways. It's like it's in the water or something. But anyway.